Hello, I just started the Hangout. It's a couple of minutes before 3:30, 3:28. If you have any questions, you can email them to me, or you can, if you are on the Hangout, you can just pose your question live or via the chat box. Let me know when you join. I usually see whoever joins the Hangout live, but there are some people who might be just watching. And I will respond to questions if there are any questions. And if there are no questions, we'll just be together for a while, and then we will say goodbye. So it is 3:30 now, and please let me know if you have any questions. For anybody who's a new comer to these gatherings, these meetings are an inquiry into our true nature, meaning an inquiry in the reality of our experience. It goes beyond our belief systems and looks at what we actually are. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. So if you have any questions, you can pose your question. I do not give speeches on the Hangout. I answer questions if you have any questions. Hello, Lina. Hey, Lina.
Hi there, Magdi.
Hey, hello, Lina.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see you.
Oh, I've been trying to get. Is anybody else on?
It says one viewer, and you're the second person who just joined.
I couldn't. I've been trying for about 5 minutes to get on, and I had a difficult time.
I don't know how.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Modern technology. What can I say?
You're on now.
Good. Perfect. I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. Just wait for a few minutes. No, I don't hear you, Lina. I don't hear you. Something you did.
Haven't done anything.
Now I hear you.
Okay. I'm not doing anything. Who knows?
Okay.
This crazy universe.
Well, how is Chad doing?
He's doing fine. He's downstairs working.
Okay. Say hello to him, yeah?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
It's so easy to get thrown off course for me. You know, everything will be going smoothly, and then it can take a second to have everything in craziness and mayhem. At least I'm noticing it, which is
right. You know, it is at these moments where you get triggered that it's a good idea to just pause. It's at these moments that it's crucial to sort of make the adjustment, because outside of these moments all is well.
Yeah.
But it is these moments when we get triggered, when we have an expectation that's not fulfilled. I don't know, just some way we want things to be, and things don't don't turn out that way, that we get triggered, it's at that time that it's a good precious time to just be still and notice how there is this tendency to want things to be our way, whatever that means, and how this makes things so unhappy, so painful. It just complicates things. But it's these little adjustments, this noticing, as you said, at least I notice it. It's a micro, not surgery. It's a micro attention. It's being attentive in a very specific situation, because our life, if you want to use that term, is this moment. It's very specific. It's this moment, being together right now. It's this moment. So when there is something that's happening, that's, a feeling, an emotion, something that is not being fulfilled, meaning we have a certain agenda, it's that specific moment. It's at this moment that we look at it, and slow down and notice just a habitual me tendency that is always seeking. It's seeking out there. It's seeking in a relationship, in a certain situation, in just the world has to sort of act in a certain way, be in a certain way, and to notice that's happening. There's a mental condition going on, and at the body level, to locate in the body, to notice what's happening in the body at the sensation level, and to recognize, acknowledge the space that's around. That's the substance of everything. Like the space is the substance of this conversation right now. The space is the substance of this beingness right now. Your bodily sensations right now are soaked through and through with space, 99.99999% space. Actually, it's all space through and through. So when you come to that, it relaxes the intention. It relaxes the contraction, and it frees and releases the entire space across the board. So like in Timbuktu, there is a relaxation. In Shanghai, in the market, there is a relaxation, because it's all one seamless substance. The consciousness is seamless, it's infinite and eternal. So it's not just a personal relaxation. It's not a relaxation at this local level, because this local level has no boundaries. It seems to be local, but when you examine it, you find that this locality is borderless. And so this locality is really infinite. It's not an actual locality. So what releases here, what this little shift from how Lina wants things, and how she is feeling, and how she should be feeling, and how she was feeling yesterday, and how she's progressing or not progressing along the spiritual path, all of that, all of these imaginings, these dream conversations, are released in the infinite presence of consciousness. They dissolve in the infinity of presence. And it's just beauty, love, and it's not mine, it's not yours, it's just across the board. That's the the nourishment, if you want to use that term, of all hearts. This is what nourishes our heart, is the beauty and the love and the tenderness. So, yeah, and so what if we get triggered? Because imagine that you got triggered 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago is not what's right now, or an hour ago, or a minute ago, or even you get triggered right now. This now is constantly dissolving. There isn't like an actual time lapse to now. Now, the real now, the true now is eternity. So it isn't like there is something happening. It isn't like there is something happening to you or something specific happening. You could say that it's all happening or all non-happening. So it doesn't really matter so much. From that perspective, you don't need to drag along your memory of what happened to you. That's or no, don't. That's dragging a dead corpse. It's a dead story, right?
Over.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. So here you are, fresh again, complete freshness. So it's like in an instant, it's dropped. In an instant, even faster than an instant, it's dropped, because it never was anything real. Only the love is real. Only presence. Consciousness, the spaciousness, the openness. That's real, not as a thing. It's real as an experience, as an actuality, as a reality. That's the term. Real. It's real as real. It's real as reality, and it's the only reality. So I wouldn't mourn over spilled milk, or I wouldn't bother so much about what has happened. Just notice the presence, the openness, the borderless, the love. There are no borders to the heart. Yeah.
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 It's exhausting to get caught up in that mess.
Yes. The whole fixing me and getting to a better me, having a better experience, all of that is dust on the mirror. All of that is images on the screen, stories, storylines. They seem convincing because they feel convincing. So what? A feeling is a bodily sensation plus a story. The bodily sensation, the story arise on the screen of consciousness, the presence that you are right now. Like the hearing of these words arises on the screen of consciousness that you are right now. So I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't be in the dust cleaning business. No, just be the mirror. The mirror is not stained by anything that appears in it, any image that it reflects. It doesn't recollect them. It doesn't try to organize them. It doesn't measure them. And this screen, this mirror, is happiness, is peace and happiness. It's not a blank state. It's the love. It's the open heart that is not identified with the body. It's not identified with Magdi, Laina, whoever. It's not. Magdi, Laina, all these characters are thoughts, perceptions, and sensations. Mostly they're sensations. So like Magdi's sensations, bunch of sensations and memories, meaning thoughts. Then we say that's what I am. But no, you're not what appears and disappears. Right? You are that does not appear and that does not disappear, meaning unconceived, unperceived, unborn. That's the reality of consciousness. And that is right here, right now, what hears these words. Because that's real. This experience right here, right now, whatever it is, it's real. Its reality is the reality of consciousness, of awareness, of presence. Presence, awareness. I am aware. I am is presence. Aware meaning consciousness, meaning I'm perceiving, the knowing. I am knowing. I am is presence. Knowing is awareness, consciousness. Sat, Chit, Ananda. And as a result, the bliss. I am, consciousness, aware is one. The I am, presence. That is not a thing. And awareness, meaning knowingness, knowing itself, knowing that I am, and knowing perceptions and sensations, knowing what we refer to as the world, body, and mind, are one. They're one. You cannot separate the you from the knowing. You cannot separate the you from the hearing of these words. You cannot separate the you from the knowingness of these words right now. They're one. There is no duality. There is no separation. Separation is imagination. Has no reality. It's an old mental habit, and it's an old feeling state that somehow gets our attention, grabs our attention, robs our attention, takes our attention, says, oh yeah, you did this and that and that, you should have done this and this and that should have happened to you, he should have done this and that, she should have done this and that. So there's a whole conversation, which are thoughts and sensations within the body, that we identify with. We sort of identify with this conversation. We get hypnotically drawn to it. And inside this conversation, there is the identification, the impression, the belief that I am a person, that I am this specific person, this body-mind, a mortal body-mind. And that's very, very scary. It leads to fear, unhappiness, anxiety, and all sorts of thoughts about how to save myself, how to regain eternity. But all these thoughts about regaining eternity are really a conversation. It's a conversation that is occurring with the separate self is playing a game. In a way, it's all the doing of consciousness, but at the level at which I'm speaking, it is the separate self that says, okay, well, I need to get enlightened. So it gets on a mission. It goes on a mission. And then it has success and failures. It's improving or it's not improving. It's failing or succeeding, which is very traumatic situation. It's a roller coaster ride.
Exhausting.
Yeah, exhausting. All along, you, the true you, the real you as consciousness, the you that is consciousness, that is the presence, that is the awareness, you awareness, are right there unmoved. You perceive all of this, everything that is known, every little nuance of this conversation is known via I am aware, I awareness am. That is the knowingness of every little fiber, every little flitter, every little movement in the body-mind, in the world, is known via I am awareness, I am. All along that is unmoved, untouched, pristine. That is the reality that you are, the unmoved screen. The separate self is constantly measuring. How am I doing? Am I getting better? Am I getting worse? Am I doing good? Am I doing bad? Oh, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And all of this, measuring, judging. It exists through that. It maintains its impression in the body-mind, through these conversations. The me conversations. Me and him, me and her, me and my life, me and my world, me and my past, me and my future. These conversations is what the separate self is made out of. And the sensations that come with that, the bodily sensations. It has no reality of its own. There is only one reality. That is the reality of consciousness, the reality of presence, the reality of beingness. That here is his words, the reality of knowingness. That is not a thing. It's not mortal. Body, minds come and go. The screen does not.
Is that what's meant by being vigilant? Is just seeing when we're off in our fabricated world, getting antsy about this, that, and the other?
Yeah, well, there is a vigilance that is directed out towards objects, towards forms. And then there is a vigilance that's directed inwards, directed at the body-mind. A vigilance that is looking at ignorance, that is looking at our belief systems and the consequences of believing I am a me and he is a he, or I am a me and she is a her. That I am a mortal body-mind and she's another mortal body-mind. This sort of vigilance is a vigilance that leads you to clarity, while the vigilance that is more sort of interested in the world, body-mind as an external projection that's directed outwards, it maintains a duality. It maintains a sense of separation. So yes, vigilance, the correct meaning of vigilance in the non-duality way of using this term, it is a vigilance when we get off track, when the old patterns kick in, which they do at times along the path, and how we get on that pony and go for the ride. But it's very unpleasant, it's bumpy, it hurts our back. So now I'm happy.
Drains our energy.
Yes, drains our energy, exhausts us. Yes. So it can arise, the I thought and the me sensation, me and him, me and her arise, me and I should have been better, me and myself.
It's mostly me and trying to control life and having it go smoothly.
Yeah. Yeah, me and trying to control life. Yeah. Yeah, when we try to control life, there is no beauty. It becomes a a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't, so it's back and forth. In our sleep we worry about things, about life, how it's gonna go and how I'm gonna make it go in a certain direction. Now it's okay to wish things to be in a certain way and to sort of work on things being in a certain way, be open to a certain direction, but as long as you're doing it from the openness, you're doing it from an interest, not an obsession, not a sense of do or die, not a sense of urgency, a sense of danger. No. But if you are working on things out of a sense of aliveness and playfulness, and maybe you want to improve on certain situations, you're moving towards a beauty, simplicity. You're trying to make things more facile, more easier flow. Sure, why not? So you work on these things, but you're coming from a relaxed, happy place. And if it goes this way, it goes that way. Okay, it goes that way, which you're open. You're open because you're discovering. And when you're open, you find beauty everywhere. You might not understand it right away. You say, oh, gee, I wanted to go in that direction. Somehow the world, this person came in and that person came in and this person didn't respond in time, and boom, now I'm in a totally different direction. But if you relax, you relax, of course you do your best to move in a direction that you felt was direction that seemed to be the right way, happier way, easier way. You do your best, but then things go in a different direction. But if you're open, you remain in the openness. You will be surprised at what will unfold in that different direction.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really important that you are in the happiness across the board, and not in the, oh my God, why is it happening this way? I wanted it to be that way. That's like a very stubborn me thought,
It sure is.
Yeah, and right from the start, it's not happy.
Yeah.
Because behind it there is, if it doesn't go that way, it's no good. So already
Limiting.
Yeah, already there is like this condition, this unseen sort of sword that might drop on you if it doesn't go that way. So it's unhappy across the board. But when
I try to release it by just saying, nothing really matters. Nothing is that important.
Yeah. Well, when you say nothing really matters, but you really, really don't believe it, it doesn't go deep. So what matters is the beauty, the love, the happiness. That matters. It matters that the openness matters, the beauty matters, the understanding matters, the easy flow matters, the love matters. So it's not my way that matters or a certain unfolding that matters. It's not what appears on the screen that matters. It's the realization of the screen, the beauty of the screen, the infinite the embracing quality of the screen that matters. To be the screen, not to be a me that says, oh, well, it doesn't matter. You see what I mean? Like, you could say it doesn't matter, but still be in the sense of self, of separate me. And you're trying to sort of, through repeating it doesn't matter, get yourself, the separate you, to feel okay. Then you have to just sort of maintain, you have to maintain this, it doesn't matter, it doesn't, it's, you have to go to the source, that you are the openness, you're not a Lina that will be happier if certain situations unfold for you. That's doomed, because Lina is doomed. As a body-mind, Lina is time clock. All body-minds are the time clock. So it's already, the virus of mortality is already in the space. So it's important, rather than perceiving that there are certain situations that are good for Lina, to realize that Lina is not a body-mind. There is no reality to the Lina. The reality is to consciousness. It's the reality of consciousness, the reality of presence, the reality of awareness that right now hears these words, the reality of being. That's the reality, Lina. Not the thoughts, not the feelings, not the sensations, even if they're in your belly, even if they're in your chest, if in your throat.
Yeah, I felt things loosen up on that last sentence.
I know, I felt it too.
It just, I could breathe easier.
Yes.
It was before that second. It was thick and heavy and so intense, and then there was space between all that tenseness.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Some part heard that deeply.
Yes. Yes, I sense that.
I could feel it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, you're welcome.
When I was trying to get on early in Magdi, Tay was trying to get on, and Lee was trying to get on, and I could see that, and Dolores was trying to get on.
I don't know how. I don't know how to. I don't know.
Actually, there isn't anything to be done. This is kind of the frustrations that I'm talking about. That you really have no control over, and
I am trying to invite people. Oh, one moment. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to re-invite them. Let me see if there is something. See if there's something I can do.
I know those three were trying to get on.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm wondering if I can just copy the website. Let me see if I can copy the website. Copy, and I'm gonna see if make a note on Facebook for the friends. So I just posted the who were the people who are trying to join?
Tay and Dolores and Lee. with three names that popped up that I saw were trying to get on too.
Okay, I just sent a little note on the Facebook.
You sound like you're in an aviary.
Oh, no. I am at
Birds
home.
in the background.
I am at home.
Where are the birds coming from?
Oh, from outside.
By the window? Ah,
yeah.
they're having a party.
Yes.
It's amazing how much clearer this form feels.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was going to bust. I'd built up so much tension that it was ready to explode.
Yeah. You know, the yoga exercises that sometimes we do are really helpful at these times. If you can just close your eyes and go to the body sensation and sort of allow it to expand and expand and expand, and you just visualize this expansion of the sensation. You can do that, and also you can close your eyes and then go to just the presence. Just sort of try to feel the your body, or the inside edges of your body, and allow the inside edges of your body to expand, and then invite the sensation to come to that. You can experiment with these things at these times. And
yeah, I was very aware of what I was feeling and trying to. I could relax with it and let it dissolve, but it would come right back again until that moment when we were talking, and then it just something energetically allowed it. It was like dropping an Alka-Seltzer, the fizz. It opened everything up. There was more space between the
wow, that sounds intense.
It was intense. It was really intense, and I'm just going, boy, is this interesting?
This just reminded me of the hornets, a couple of 3-4 weeks ago.
It was like having
I got bit by a hornet.
You get those great big ones?
Yeah, I got bit by one a few weeks ago, and my whole arm was had quite a reaction to that. It was.
There's been a lot of. Jack and I were having dinner the other night outside, and all of a sudden, all these hornets were around.
Yeah.
And we can't find a nest. It seems they come in groups through the woods and visit light, any light they see.
Yeah,
they're about an inch. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. They also nest. Oh, hello, Alvaro. Hello, Alvaro. They also nest in the ground, Alvaro, were you having a hard time getting online?
No.
Okay. I was just, it seems that some people, yeah. Well, nice to see you, Alvaro.
Nice to see you.
Where are you coming from?
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm from...
Alvaro is in Costa Rica.
In Costa Rica. Wonderful.
Yes.
I knew it was a different time.
2 hours at 2, they're at 2:15 right now in Costa Rica.
Right.
2 hours.
Yes.
We were talking before, Alvaro, about how to deal or what to do when emotions, upsetness or anxiety arises. But you can see that in the recording because this is recorded and goes on YouTube.
And how delicious it feels when those hornets go someplace else.
Yeah, there is no reality to the images that arise on the screen that is outside of the reality of consciousness, Lina.
Yes. Yes.
So, in a way, like when you have a resistance to whatever arises on the screen, it's a setup.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, because you already condemned the victim before even it appeared, and when it appears, even if it's innocent, you're going to perceive it as a culprit and hang it. It's a setup. But if you remain with the openness, the vulnerability, not in the saving Lina business. Saving Lina is an endless. It's an unhappy task, unhappy endeavor.
Never-ending task.
Yeah, right. Never ending. Even in our sleep, there is a worry about Lina. But what is Lina? What is Lina right now, this very moment? Where do you go? Where do you go to really answer this question?
You go to that part that isn't Lina. We call awareness, but
Right.
it is. The Lina is not there. Lina is only a.
You got it. Because if you go to Lina in the files and folders and memory banks, all that is dead stuff. That's not what's alive. So when you go to answer really what am I in a real way, not the dead me, the me that's of memory, the me of the past. When you go directly to what is Lina right here, right now, you come onto awareness. You come onto presence.
Openness and space and peace.
Yes, yes. It's a borderless presence, which is the openness, the space, the peace, the happiness, the joy, the freedom, the intelligence, the wisdom. And that is not in any saving business. It's not trying to save anything. It's
Nothing to save.
It's not right. It's not a body-mind. So whenever you're worried about something, you moved away from beingness, you moved away from consciousness, you moved away from presence to lina, to the mortal body mind, to the identification with some object, some form. Why? What for? What happiness is there in that? It's only limitation. It's only limitation.
It's just the stopping of that when we see it, when we recognize it, to just stop the mind from generating more thoughts or more illusion or more line of problems or
you know the stopping of the mind is effortless, and when you realize that what is real is not the conversation that is heard, that is perceived, but what is real is the presence that is not perceived, but that perceives everything. That stops the mind. You don't stop the mind. You don't go on a stopping the mind mission. The
it's
mind
just a vicious loop.
Yeah, the mind sort of becomes a friend once it understands its proper place. It becomes sweet. It ceases to become a rebellious, stubborn little child. It realizes, oh, I'm here for the fiesta. I'm here for the happiness and for the celebration and for the joy. Oh, wow. I could read a book. I could go to a concert and go for a walk. I can ride my bicycle. I can go for dinner with my friend, with my husband, with my girlfriend. I can visit the museums, whatever. The mind can become a tool of enjoyment, and also the mind is very helpful, very useful tool for contemplation. This is right now we're doing a contemplation. We're contemplating. It's a contemplation. The mind is part of the as a function. It has a function of facilitating this contemplation. It's a little bit complicated with the hangout, how to invite people and how, but still, there is a certain mind quality that is lovely. It tries to work it out more or less successfully, but yes, it's very lovely.
Well, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yes, right. So, but it's no anti-mind or anti-thought mission or anti-anything mission. Absolutely not. It is realizing what is real and what borrows its reality from consciousness. Everything that appears on the mirror borrows its reality from the mirror. Everything that appears on the screen right now borrows its reality from the screen. The pixels of the screen, the colors of the shirts and the faces and the room and whatever you're perceiving borrows its seeming reality from the reality of the screen. And so, therefore, the feelings and the thoughts and the stories that come inside of these thoughts are perceived to be events on the screen. And the main understanding is that the thought that says that you are a mortal body mind borrows its reality from consciousness. Therefore, it is not what is real. It is the consciousness that perceives this thought that is real. And the consciousness that perceives the thought is not mortal, is not a mind event, is not something that is put together by atoms and molecules. It is larger than that. It is what puts the atoms and molecules together. It is what puts the cosmos together. It is what knows. It's the only knowing. It's the knowing of consciousness, not the knowing of the body. The body is a tool of consciousness via which consciousness amuses itself in knowing a world and knowing a body and knowing the mind. It's through the instrument, through the tools, that consciousness revels and celebrates its freedom, at its infinite potential, its infinite creativity, and creates worlds of trees and birds, rivers, streams, the weather, the cosmos, galaxies, out of its sense of play and freedom and beauty, creativity, and it enjoys itself. Through our enjoyment, I celebrate myself, revel in myself, as that, the reality of consciousness that is beyond all forms, beyond all limitations. Hello, Alvaro.
Hi, Maggie. In this process of awakening, I can say that it's possible to feel and experiment changes in the body, what we call body.
Oh, Alvaro, can you hold on just for 1 minute? I'll be right there. 1 moment. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yes, you were saying, Alvaro.
I was saying that in this process of awakening, right, or the establishment of the awareness.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. I notice also that there is some changes in the level of the body, on the physical body, right? Either through heat or shaking, kundalini, what they call, or whatever, or different things. I would like if you can say something about that, please.
Yeah. You see, in ignorance, meaning in the belief that I am a mortal body-mind, that consciousness is limited to this body, that I, as consciousness, am this body. There is what accompanies this belief is from a very young age, and it's a process that keeps getting more and more complicated. Bodily, at the body level, at the body sensation level, at the energetic level, there are structures that are established in the body. Certain bodily positions, certain bodily movements, some subtle and some more visible, that the ensemble of which, the totality of which, forms the sense of me that keeps forming, that keeps getting, like the spider's web gets, as the spider is weaving the web, first they make one large perimeter, and then they do some key lines, and then they start weaving, and by the end of the web, a little mosquito cannot fly through it. It will get caught in it. In sort of a similar manner, in the body, at the sensation, the bodily sensation, there is that structure that gets built, and it makes us unhappy. We actually can sense that when we're young, when we are growing up, we sense the structure forming. We don't know what it is, because we're not in satsang. We're just a young boy growing or a young girl growing. But we can sense there is a certain malaise, a certain uneasiness, a certain, the freedom of the young boy of 2-year-old gets more and more diminished, and their sense of play and freedom gets more and more contracted, and we sense that in our body. It's at the energetic level. When there are revelations that reveal the flaw, the error in this belief system, in this identification as a man, as a mortal body, as a woman, as some form, when there is a crack in that belief system, there is the light of consciousness that shines through the web, through the structure, and as it does that, it shifts. There is an internal earthquake of various magnitude and amplitude. Some are minor, and some are much more dramatic, depending on the depth of the width of the crack and the depth of the penetration of the light of consciousness in the fabric of ignorance. There are centers, core energetic centers throughout the organism. There are designed for the energetic makeup of this form and the energetic expression of this form through those chakras. I am not an expert on these items. It's just I'm talking from not from an academic study, but from a different position, different approach to that. And these various centers serve various functions, various sources as sources of energies for various functions that are connected to the organism, that make the ensemble of the organism. There is a flow to it, and when those channels are open and flowing, completely open and flowing from base to top, it is the entire cosmos that is liberated. It's a free flow throughout the entire cosmos, not through a specific body-mind. So, in my approach, I do not give importance, nor do I disregard these energetic shifts and energetic events throughout the organism. They do occur and they will occur. It's inevitable as the structure, the web, the me web, the I web that has sort of pervaded the body-mind blocks the flow, the open flow of energy and the freedom of the body that is actually a cosmic body. It's an infinite body. It's not a matter, it's not a material body. I would rather just maintain my contemplation onto what is it that I truly am? What is it that really is real? And allow that to restore the order. It will restore order throughout the body-mind. And none of these events throughout the energetic events throughout the body-mind will harm you. None of them will. None of them will. Simply recognize the borderless openness that you are. There is no reality to any structure. It does not separate. It facilitates. There are bridges that facilitate crossing from one shore to another shore. There are all sorts of paths throughout the forest that allow you to navigate your way. There are all sorts of structures that facilitate serve at the dream level, at the phenomenal level. They have very important functions, Alvaro. And of course, when there is an easy flow, it's very lovely. When you have to pay all sorts of taxes to cross the bridge, then you have to work for 2 or 3 years to save the money to cross that bridge. That's a little bit more complicated. So it's nice when there is the easy flow, the openness. It all follows. It all is sourced in your understanding at the mind level and at the body level. That you are not a body-mind. You as consciousness are not contained. And you are not a body. The body is infinite presence, is infinite space. It is consciousness that takes on the form of bodily sensations and perceptions and thoughts and feelings and what we refer to as the world body-mind. So to make a long story short, yes, there are all sorts of energetic shifts that happen at the chakra levels, and they just travel throughout the entire organism. There are also all sorts of, at the mind level, also visions that may arise, and in your sleep there might be some wakeful dreaming and certain visualizations and visions. They all flow from the liberation of the ignorance within your body mind, but they are not they're not the end goal, and there is no sense in parking yourself in that space.
But you say, maybe, that will be enough just to put the attention in awareness, in the witness, in the observer. And that by itself will take care of the rest of the experience that has to be lived through this organism.
Yes, absolutely. The return home is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
It is really return to what you already are. It's not even, you don't even take a step away. It's more seeing that all these belief systems that we lived by are dead. There is no life in them. They're gone. A second, anything that is not in the immediacy of now, it's dead. The reality is the reality right now. Reality is this reality right now, and that's there is nothing. You don't need to travel to Mount Everest. Right here, right now, you are that presence, that conscious aware presence, 100%. There isn't one bit that is not it. There is nothing right here, right now that is not consciousness. Nothing. There's nothing right here, right now that is not consciousness. Nothing. Everything that you know right now, looking out the window, it's through consciousness that there is this perception. This perception is made out of consciousness itself. It's the awareness. It's made out of awareness. It's awareness taken on the form of a tree, of a screen, of directly. You can look directly and perceive what is real right now. Is it not awareness? Is it not?
Say again, please.
What is real right now? What is real right now?
Oh, yes. Yes.
One moment, Alvaro. I think,
yes.
Let me see if I can do something. I think Lee is, one moment. I think that let me see. Okay, yeah. So if you go directly to your experience right now, and you just contemplate, what is it that's real right now? Because what's the use of a reality of yesterday, or what is the use of reality of tomorrow?
Right.
It's really
Yes.
it's really reality now. Yes, it's if there is anything real, it is real now.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that's real now?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this perception.
Yes.
Perception, presence.
Yes, perception. So what makes what allows this perception? What is this perception made of? It's not made of Alvaro, who is born hello Lee. It's not made out of Alvaro, who was born what's the use of a reality of yesterday? It's right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the substance of this perception?
Oh, to me, the substance is just, it's difficult to describe, Maggie. If I have to use words, right, it's difficult to describe, but it's a sense just the present of existence, right, which doesn't belong to me.
It's not an extent. It's not an intellectual question. It's not an intellectual question. It is not a philosophical question. There is a perception right now.
Mm-hmm.
What, and it's real.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is the reality or the substance of this perception?
Honestly, I cannot describe.
Okay, well, let me say some words about it. Maybe they will resonate for you, or we can talk about it. So I would say that this perception there are some elements to this perception. One of the elements to this perception is that I am perceiving it. You agree? It's not the dog over there that's perceiving it. It's not the chair that's perceiving it. I, whatever that is, I'm perceiving it.
Okay.
Yes? Yes. So this perception, therefore, is made up of, there is I in it. There is I. The other thing I can say about this perception is that this perception is known. I know this perception. I can say, well, I'm perceiving. Not only I am, meaning I'm present, but also I am present and I am perceiving.
Right.
So this perception is, its substance is I, meaning I am, or sometimes I use the term presence. Presence.
Okay. Yes.
And also it's made out of awareness, meaning I'm aware, there is an awareness that this is a perception. This is not a river. It is a perception of a screen. There is awareness, there is a specific awareness. So this perception is made of I, meaning presence, I as presence. And there is a knowingness, there is an awareness of this perception. And I'm not being philosophical, I'm looking directly at my experience. When I say my experience, I mean the experience, and meaning I as Alvaro, I as Elena, I as Lee, whatever. Yes? So then I asked myself, wait a minute. So there is obviously I, meaning presence. I am, me, this presence. And there is a knowingness. And there is a perception. But they're all one. They're not apart. Remember, we had talked about that before. We're not apart. They're not apart.
Exactly.
So I could say then, oh, well, the substance of this perception is I am awareness.
Okay. Yes. I am aware.
But I'm not trying to make a philosophy. I'm not trying to create a new religion or a new belief. I'm just strictly looking as directly, without borrowing any concepts. I'm just looking directly at what is the reality of this freaking experience right now. What is this reality? So I in looking at this, I find that, oh well, its reality is I am presence, awareness as one. The perception, the I am, my presence, and the awareness are one.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes.
And you will find that that is the reality of everything you perceive. The reality, if you're perceiving a thought, if you're perceiving a tree, if you're perceiving a feeling in your, or a bodily sensation in your belly, or having a glass of wine with friends, it's always I am, because you are there. The I am. There is presence and awareness as one. The perception, the presence, and awareness are one. That is the reality of your experience. The reality of my experience is I am awareness. I am consciousness. I am, meaning presence, is consciousness taking on the form of this perception as one. They're one. Like a butterfly and its wings are one. The butterfly, like the dog and its tail, or the cat with its 4 legs are one. The perception, the awareness, and the I am, the presence, are one. And there is nothing else. There isn't something else. There is just the reality of this experience, the reality of this. That is the reality right now. There is no reality yesterday or reality tomorrow. It's this reality now. Now, what is real now. Not real yesterday or real to some. Oh, I'll find out the reality of tomorrow. We're talking about reality now, Alvaro.
Right.
Which is the only reality that we really this is where everything is occurring. This is where everything is unfolding. There is a great significance to that. The significance is that there is nothing. There is no separate Alvaro. There is no separate. There is nothing separate. That consciousness and the world, meaning the perceptions, the sensations, or the thoughts, are one, and one with the presence. Presence, consciousness, and the world, body, mind are one. But what is it? That's the next question. What is it that's, let's say, more real? Let me use that term, more real. What is it that is more real? What I perceive can change. Like, for example, right now, you're perceiving this. Look at the screen. You're perceiving this image, yes?
Yes.
And right now, you're perceiving a different image, right?
Right.
The image changes. Yes?
Yeah.
The image changes. But you, the presence, the I am is still there, right? The same I am.
Right.
The awareness is still there. It's just the image has changed. You follow?
Yes, totally.
So the I am and the awareness, not the image, are quotes unquote more real than the image. The I am, meaning presence, awareness, the presence and awareness, the one, is more real than the image. So it seems like, using the metaphor of the sun shining or a light shining on an object, that it is the light that is more real than the object that the light illuminates. Yes? So there is a reality, the reality of consciousness, that gives form to this image and to this image. It gives form to this image and it gives form to this image. It gives form to this image, all images. It gives form to all images. Yes? It takes on the form. Consciousness takes on all forms, but there is a dependency. It is as if the form, meaning what you perceive, if you're looking at a tree, the tree depends on consciousness. The consciousness does not depend on the tree. The tree can lose all its leaves. Consciousness doesn't lose its leaves. I am the I am. Right now there is you are. You are doesn't lose your leaves. The tree loses its leaves, but the I am, meaning presence, and awareness, meaning the knowingness, consciousness, does not get affected, does not get stained, does not get tainted by the images that arise on the screen. The screen does not get tainted by the images that arise on the screen.
Yes, Maggie. It's very clear. I mean, when you say that.
Hello, Rina. You see, Alvaro, that is referred to as knowing yourself. You know yourself. We believe ourselves to be Alvaro, to be a man, to be a woman. We believe, and we feel. We say, oh, well, I am this body mind because I feel like I am this body mind. But the feeling is not a proof, is not an evidence that you are. If you feel like you're a butterfly, you're going to be a butterfly? You're not a butterfly. Let's say you're dreaming, you're sleeping, you're dreaming that you're a butterfly. Okay, Alvaro? So you're sleeping and you feel like you're a butterfly. You're flying over the flowers, the sunflowers. Does that mean you are a butterfly? So a feeling is perceived. If a feeling is perceived, whatever is perceived cannot speak about what perceives it. What perceives can speak about what it perceives. I perceive the tree and I can say, oh, this is a palm tree, or this is an oak tree, or this is an elm tree. But the tree that is perceived cannot speak about the perceiver. You follow? So a thought So a thought that says, I am a man, you cannot trust that thought because you're perceiving it to speak about what you are. Even if it says, I am a man, or it says, I'm a cat, or it says, I'm a butterfly, you cannot believe, you cannot trust that. Why? Because it is an object you are perceiving. It is blind. The only consciousness, the only thing, it's not a thing, the only quality that is conscious is consciousness. There is no consciousness in a perceived form.
Yes. Yes. But why is the identification? Where did identification come from? From the same consciousness who go into thought, who goes into image and say, I am this, I am Alvaro, or I am that.
Yeah.
It's a movement of the same consciousness who is going there, right?
Yeah, there, from the absolute perspective, which is really the only real perspective, there is only one reality, and that is the reality of consciousness.
Right.
And so the impression of being Alvaro is this identification with a form, with the body-mind.
Mm-hmm.
So in asking, what is it that is creating this identification, is a little bit of an academic question. Because what really matters is for you to realize what you truly are. And to realize what you truly are, that is directly revealed to you via your desire, more than a desire, via your passion
Yes.
to know yourself. But there is no reality to the separate self. It is perceived and imagined. You could consider it as a dream. Like when you are dreaming, you're in the night dream, you're dreaming that you are a fairy, or that you are an ogre. This fairy or this ogre are your thoughts. They're made out of you. In the same way, dreaming that you are Alvaro, this identification, is the dream of consciousness. As there is the separate self that is arising in the dream, is also dreaming to seek happiness and to find happiness in a world. It's as if there is a dream inside of a dream. So you're sleeping, night dream, and you're dreaming that you are an ogre, and the ogre is dreaming that It can eat whatever, I don't know what ogres eat. What do they eat? That is gonna, eat 20 little children. That sounds awfully bloody, but all right, it's gonna eat 20 little children. So the ogre's dream is a dream that's inside of your dream. I don't know if I'm moving away from your question or if I'm talking to your question. There is one reality, and that's the reality of the dreamer. So you are the reality, dreaming the dream, and within that dream there are other dreams. The dreamer is dreaming a dream character that is dreaming a dream. And that is now dreaming the dream of awakening. Because the dream character is dreaming the dream of awakening. And at the same time, consciousness is sort of, it's as if consciousness is waking up from its dream. It's getting to be 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what time you wake up, but wake up, and now you're starting to wake up, and so the dream characters in your dream are becoming less and less real.
Right.
Yeah. So it's sort of a play.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there is a
yeah.
There is a beauty to it.
Uh-huh.
The beauty is that the play ends up with a celebration.
It's the way it is. I mean, all this dream, all this waking up, all this struggle to find the truth, right? And moments of clarity, of beauty, of oneness with everything, and in another moment, confusion appear in the mind. It's part of this dream, it's part of this reality.
Yes, Alvaro, except that it goes from confusion and unhappiness towards more and more clarity and more happiness. It's not just random. It's not random. It moves from more and more confusion, more and more angst, more and more reactivity to more and more clarity and more happiness and peace. The end game, you end up with clarity, peace, happiness, beauty, love, truth, wisdom. So it's not just random. You end up like the the pioneers who crossed the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. They travel and travel and travel through all these mountains and hills and crossed rivers and deserts and so on, but to arrive to the ocean, to the Pacific Ocean. Metaphor, but there's more and more beauty, more and more celebration, more and more enjoyment. and more ease with those feelings and emotions that arise that seem to be so big, so momentous. In retrospect, you will find, oh, gee, it doesn't upset me that much anymore. I've been happy and enjoying myself and not stirred up, but it's been quite a while now. You sort of, in retrospect, you will notice that the change and just the love and the happiness and the peace. It's all about the peace and the happiness of our. It's not about some great intellectual awakening. It's about the peace and happiness. It's about the joy, the peace and happiness. That does not depend on traveling to California or living in the Bahamas or having a beautiful relationship or having a huge house or having lots of money. It's causeless. It's a freedom. Freedom. Peace and happiness and freedom does not depend on any events. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gracias.
De nada.
Hi, Magdi. This is Raina.
Hello, Raina.
First of all, I just want to thank you for all your help. You've really helped me a lot, and I appreciate it.
Nice.
Do you think that our external world is a manifestation of an internal condition?
What we refer to as the external world right now, before I even go into your question, it's important to be clear about what we mean by an external world. So the best way to explore what the external world is to look at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, we can ask ourselves, me and you and all our friends here, what is the external world? What truly is the external world? Without taking it for granted that, oh, we know the answer, we are going to just look directly right now, what is the external world? So right here, right now, Rena, what is the external world? In your direct experience.
Right at this moment, it's beautiful.
Okay, yes, it's beauty. So there is a perception, there is a feeling and a perception of beauty. So we could say, but please correct me if I am straying and don't want to put words in your mouth. So right now there is sort of an experience. It could be like a sensation, a bodily sensation, or a perception of beauty and a feeling of beauty. Yes, so we could say right now the world is beauty. That's a perception of beauty, a sense of beauty, a feeling of beauty, and a sense of well-being and happiness and ease, whatever. Yes, do we agree? Is that like, okay? So that's what you're saying. Yes. So right now, the world is beauty. In other words, a sensation, a perception, of a beautiful perception, a feeling of happiness, a feeling of beauty. Yes. So that
Yes.
right now is what we're looking at as the external world. Now, this external world, Rena, that you described to me, which you described to me very, very beautifully, this external world, you missed something in your description, if you don't mind me saying so. There is something very, very, very important that you missed in your description of this world, of this external world. But that's just my way of putting it. Don't mind me putting it this way. Nobody likes to hear what they missed. Oh, what did I miss? So just take my words lightly, please. Please. So what also, let's say, what also is present in this, what you just described so beautifully as just the, the experience of beauty, is the awareness, meaning there is also a perception, there is also a knowing of this beauty. In other words, there is the beauty and there is also the knowing of the beauty. And this knowing of the beauty is also the appreciation of the beauty, is also enjoying the beauty, is also saying yes to the beauty, thumbs up to the beauty, right? But it's there. It's there. This awareness of the beauty is there, because what's the sense of any beauty without the awareness of it? The awareness of it is what's the use of having a beautiful cake and you're not eating it, or a beautiful flowers and you're not smelling them or seeing them? So obviously the beauty of the flowers, the beauty of the garden, the beauty of the world, and your awareness, the awareness of this beauty, of this happiness, of this joy, of this feeling, of this sensation, is crucial, is important, is actually essential, because you can remove the flowers and bring in a chair, and I'm still aware of the chair. A minute ago I was aware of the flowers. Now you remove the flowers and brought in a chair, and I say I'm aware of the chair, but you can remove the object. You can remove the object. You can change the objects around, but you cannot remove awareness. If you remove awareness, boom, there are no flowers, there are no chairs, nothing. You follow? Are you following me?
Yes.
Yes. So the awareness, meaning the presence, meaning consciousness, is a crucial element to this what you describe as the external world, what you describe as your experience. But let me go back to the key thing I'm trying to say is that what we refer to as the external world is actually not so external. It's not so external, because what you described right now when you said the beauty, you described a sensation, a feeling, a perception. Just in that word, you described a sensation, a perception, a feeling. This perception, this sensation, this feeling are not external. They're not external to you. They're actually, I would even say maybe they're internal rather than external. Like right now you're perceiving this screen, yes, Rena? What you're perceiving right now, is not external. You are perceiving your perception. You're perceiving your perception. Yes?
So you are just my perception?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
If I'm perceiving you, then you are my perception?
Exactly. You are perceiving your perceptions, your perception that of Magdi. Yes, you are perceiving your perception. You're always perceiving your perception. You're always If you're looking at a thought, for example, you're always perceiving your perception of the thought. If you're looking at a sensation, you're always perceiving your perception of the sensation. If you're perceiving an image, a tree, you are perceiving your perception of the tree. Rather than perceiving the tree, you are perceiving your perception of the tree. You're always perceiving your perception. Is your perception external to you?
No.
No.
But so if I'm perceiving ugly, does that mean that that's internal as well?
Yes, if you're, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you well. You said if you're observing, can you repeat your question?
If I'm perceiving ugly
Yes.
in my world, then is that also, that's internal also?
Yeah. You see, Rena, in fact, we never perceive ugly.
No?
We never perceive ugly.
Well, when we're perceiving unpleasantness,
We never
what
perceive
is that?
we never perceive unpleasantness. Never. We never perceive unpleasantness. We perceive a perception. We perceive a sensation. We perceive a thought. We never perceive ugly. We never perceive, what did you say, unpleasant.
But if I can perceive beautiful, why can I not perceive ugly?
Because the source, meaning, that's why I said there is something you're missing. Remember, I used the word missing.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
Sorry. Meaning consciousness.
I'm missing a lot.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm not going to buy that. So coming back to your question, because the source, meaning consciousness, is beauty. So consciousness is always perceiving beauty. It's always perceiving itself, meaning beauty. Peace, beauty, and happiness. You never perceive ugly, you never perceive unpleasant. That's a story.
Why?
Because you perceive perception, you perceive a sensation, you perceive a thought. And the substance of a perception, the substance of a sensation, the substance of a thought is consciousness. And consciousness is freedom, love, and beauty. Consciousness is truth, freedom, love, and beauty. Never perceives ugliness or unpleasantness. That's a story.
Okay. What's the best advice that you have for getting out of the story and into the presence?
Do not live in time. Do not live in the past or in the future. You remain in the complete, utter presence that has zero time dimension. Do not live in the past. Do not drag corpses around in your life. Don't carry the past along. Don't project into the future. Remain as the pure presence that you already are. Do not buy into the old stories. Don't drag along your old files and folders, all your past knowledge, all your belief systems, all your stories. They're a burden, they're a drag, they're not real, they're not true, they're not real. Reality is this very moment that is not made out of time. It's pure presence, 1,000% presence. 1,000% beauty, love, and happiness. Peace, love, and happiness is the truth.
Okay.
Do not cater to Rena. Rena is a story, is is a character that is born in 19-something and is going to die in something, in 20-something. It's a story that you're dragging along minute by minute, day by day. You carry along, you drag Rena along with you by being this past character. Do not live in the past. So in this very present moment, the only thing that is real is the reality of consciousness. The reality of consciousness right here, right now, takes on the form of this perception, takes on the form of bodily sensation in your chest, in your belly, in your neck, whatever, okay? And takes on the form of thought, feeling, whatever. So the reality of these perceptions, of this perception right now, is the reality of consciousness. It is consciousness that takes on the form. The form can change, consciousness does not change. The thought can change, consciousness does not change. The feeling, the sensation can change, consciousness does not change. Remain as the changeless reality that you are. Right here, right now, the aware presence that you are. It's not a form, it's not a thing, it's not an object, it's not in time, it's not in space. Time and space arise in it, images arise in it, feelings arise in it, sensations arise in it, memories arise in it, regrets arise in it, you know, all phenomenal events arise in it and out of it. They're made out of it. It's consciousness that takes on the form of hearing this voice right now. Without consciousness, there is no hearing, no experience right now. Have you ever experienced hearing anything without consciousness?
I would say no.
No, right on. Consciousness is the only reality. And it's consciousness that takes on the form of the weather, of a perception, of a sensation. So consciousness is the reality. And you are this reality. You are this consciousness.
Okay. Is everything a part of consciousness, or is there such a thing as illusion?
Illusion. An illusion is when you perceive something and you believe it to be true while it's not true. Right? Like, for example, if you go to the magician, and the magician cuts the lady in half with a saw, right? I don't know if you've seen, or they take sword, and they poke the lady through the box. There is a box, and they poke the lady, and the sword goes inside the box and comes out from the other side of the box, and she's inside that box. Okay. And you go, oh my God, what's happening? He's just murdered. This guy just murdered this lady. Okay. While in fact, it's not, it's an illusion. So an illusion is perceiving something that seems to be real but is not real. So your question was, is everything consciousness, or is there a reality to an illusion? First, you cannot perceive an illusion without consciousness. In other words, when you dream that you are a 16-year-old boy while you are Rena, Rena sleeping in bed, in your night dream, you dream you're a 16-year-old boy. It's, in a way, it's an illusion, because you really are not a 16-year-old boy, you're Rena, sleeping and dreaming that. So the illusion is something you are dreaming. So it's made out of you, but you are real. So the illusion requires consciousness to perceive it. In other words, without you, this 16-year-old boy wouldn't even be perceived. It wouldn't even appear. So you, as consciousness, you as Rena, in this metaphor about the night dream, perceive this 16-year-old boy. So an illusion requires consciousness to perceive it. But when you are dreaming that you are a 16-year-old boy, the 16-year-old boy that you are dreaming of doesn't perceive you. You're in bed.
Yeah.
It doesn't perceive you. If it's walking on the beach, it's perceiving the beach. It's dreaming that it's perceiving the beach. Actually, it's you who are dreaming. But the young boy is looking at the beach and he sees dolphins. And so the young boy is dreaming inside of your dream. He's dreaming that he's perceiving dolphins. But it's actually you who is dreaming all these things. Yes? Yes, it's you who's dreaming. You're in bed.
Okay.
You follow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are dreaming the young boy, and you are dreaming the dolphins, and you are dreaming the young boy perceiving the dolphins. So, but the young boy doesn't perceive you. You perceive the young boy, you perceive the dolphins, but the dolphins don't perceive you, and the young boy does not perceive you. You follow?
Yes.
So, in the answering your question about consciousness and the illusion requires consciousness, but consciousness is totally free of the illusion. The illusion cannot know consciousness, but consciousness knows all perceptions, all illusions, all dreams, all thoughts, all perceptions, or sensations, all feelings.
Okay. I know this is going to sound very basic or simple, but do we create through our perception the experiences in our world that seem unpleasant? Are they created from within?
Well, it depends what you mean by we. Or it depends what you mean by I.
Me.
Yes. So it depends what you mean by you.
My consciousness. Is my consciousness creating?
You don't have a consciousness, Rina. You are consciousness.
No. Okay.
There is a big difference between I have a consciousness, meaning my consciousness, or I as consciousness. We do not have a consciousness. We are consciousness. I as a dream character, me as Rina, I as Magdi, as a dream character, do not have a consciousness. But I as consciousness am consciousness. I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes, but I want to answer your question before, Rina.
Okay.
So it's a very important point before I even go any further in your question. That when you believe that you are the body-mind, when you believe that you as consciousness are limited to a body-mind, you are inhabited, you're inside a body-mind, you believe that you are the body and that you have consciousness. But that is what we refer to as ignorance. Because a body does not have consciousness. It's the other way around. Consciousness takes on a body, if you want to use that way of speaking about it. Takes on the form of a body. Basically refers to sensation, bodily sensations, perceptions, feelings, thoughts. So I don't want to get distracted in that. Basically, it's not that the body takes on consciousness. It's more like consciousness takes on the form of a body. So a body arises within consciousness. Consciousness does not arise inside a body. So the dream character, the little boy, the 16-year-old boy that you were dreaming about on the beach, is not conscious. It arises in you as a dream character. He's walking on the beach, arises in you. He arises in you. So he is not conscious of you. He's not conscious of consciousness. Consciousness is conscious of him. So he, meaning that body mind, that character, arises in consciousness. He is perceived by consciousness. He does not perceive consciousness. Consciousness does not arise in him. He arises in consciousness. Anyways, you can think about that later, but that's an important point. So, coming back to your question, about does consciousness, correct me if I remember your question sort of correctly. Do I create the world and the unhappy? Can you repeat your question so I
Yes.
don't? Yes.
I'll be more specific.
Okay.
I've had an overabundance of trauma, what so-called abuse or victimization in my life, all through my life.
Yes.
What? Why?
Okay, that's a pretty clear question.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay, that's good. I'm with you with that. Okay, so that's thumbs up for that. Okay, thumbs up for that. But just answering your question, I'm going to be sort of brief because I'm running out of time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Everything that happens to you, everything that is happening to you, and everything that will happen to you has only one purpose right now, is to bring you back home, is to bring you back to your true self, is to bring you back to the reality, bring you back to truth. Be very kind and very grateful and very appreciative for everything that has happened in your life right now. The good, the bad, the difficult times. We are all gifted with these gifts from the divine. There is only one intention. I'm going to use some religious terms now. One intention that God has for us. That is, she loves us unconditionally. She loves us mad. She loves us big, big time. And it is out of her love that she gifts us with difficult times, with traumatic times, to remind us, listen, there is happiness here, and I am this happiness. I, God, I am this happiness. Come to me. Recognize yourself. Do not lack appreciation for everything that has unfolded in your life right now. There is beauty everywhere, in everything, in every difficulty, in every situation, in every seeming traumatic event. There is a gift from God. And she's always calling us back home, calling us back to ourselves.
Okay.
And at some point in time, we hear her and we say, I recognize you. And I recognize you as the love. I recognize you as the beauty. And I am open to the love and the beauty, meaning I am open to you, to you. I am open to you, which means I am open to the love and the beauty, and not to the me, not to the, oh, I want it this way, I don't want it this way, I want it. No, I am open to the love and the beauty. I am open, period. And as soon as you say yes to God, I am open to you, you are in the love, the beauty, and you are on the path home. Blessings. Thank you very much for all of your wonderful presence. Very lovely, blessings, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.